Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for gathering to show our unified support for the South Suburban Airport project. Recently, there's been positive advances toward building the airport. State Representative Will Davis and State Senator Napoleon Harris, who will be joining us later, passed their bill to give the Illinois Department of Transportation the flexibility to partner with private aviation experts to finance, build, and operate the new airport. Because of this new law, the possibility of building the greenest air cargo and distribution hub is now closer to reality. By the end of this month, IDOT will publish a formal request for qualifications to solicit potential airport developers. The RFQ must be fair and positive to investors, though it encourages world-class innovation as the first airport built in this country in 30 years. It must also include local businesses in every component of this project to bring economic opportunity to the South Suburbs. My office has received a number of calls and provided briefings to potential developers who are eagerly waiting to get started. I'm also encouraged by Illinois Transportation Secretary Oman Osman calling this airport a no-brainer, something we've known for a long time. It is safe to say that the South Suburban Airport is poised to be the next great American airport. Think of all the technological advancements we've made in the last decades. This airport will be green, hopefully carbon neutral, by using solar and geothermal power. It will feature electric ground vehicles and someday electric drones, air taxis, and airplanes. It will make the Southland in Illinois an even more important cog in the global supply chain. And it will be the greatest job generator in the Southland since the steel industry began downsizing decades ago. The South Suburban Airport will truly be the airport of the future, and it is almost here. Next, I'd like to introduce my friend, my former colleague, a very important person in this project, who has helped make sure our airport plans move forward in Springfield, State Representative Will Davis from the 30th District.
Good morning, everyone. Again, I am Will Davis. I'm representative of the 30th District here in the South Suburbs. I'm so honored to be here with you today as we continue to talk about the progress toward making this third airport a reality. There's a lot to be said, and I will do my best to keep it brief. But as a legislator, one of the things that I've learned, probably even more recently, is that what my tool is legislation. So whenever I want to try to impact something, whether it's economic development, education, growth, prosperity in our communities, I see legislation as a way to try to, if nothing else, continue or start the conversation and try to bring it forward and make it a reality. So in this past session, we introduced two bills. First was House Bill 2531, which is now Public Act 1030317. And that was our first effort to suggest that since it's always said who's interested, why don't we create an opportunity to find out who's interested in that Department of Transportation to put out an RFQ so that we can officially see who is out there, who wants to build this innovative and much needed project here for the Southland. As Congresswoman Kelly talked about, made remarks about the Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Osmond. Again, he's been out to the Southland. He's been in meetings with the mayors out here, and he has talked about how important this is and why we need to do this. And they grilled him. They wanted to make sure that the product that IDOT is going to put out is going to be worth the effort, and that people who want to build the airport are going to show up and ultimately respond to our RFP. But this is a time when we're not playing games, ladies and gentlemen. This is serious business. When we talk about the viability of the Southland, we need something that sparks growth and opportunity in all of our communities. Congresswoman Kelly has talked about it being a green airport, net zero airport. Illinois likes to boast that it is the first in a lot of things. Wouldn't it be great if we're the first state to build and develop and build this kind of airport? To continue along the governor's mantra of turning Illinois into a carbon-free state. We're pushing electric vehicles, we're pushing electrification. We're doing a lot of things in that space right now, and this should be a part of that dialogue. And I'm pleased and honored to have had the opportunity, along with Senator Harris, to move legislation that continues to push this effort and continues to work not on behalf of the Southland, the South Side of Chicago, and Northern Will County, but think about this in terms of helping the entirety of the state. We're always looking for opportunities to grow revenue, to bring development into the state, create jobs, not only union jobs to build it, but the jobs that are created after the fact. And individuals from our communities will have the opportunity to take advantage of it.
But as we hear everyone speak today, we're all saying the same thing. Pieces are coming together. We have our legislators working together. We have our mayors working together. We have our federal and local commissions working together. It is time to make this airport happen.
Also, then, to be able to actually fly some specific products using eVTOL from the airport to a distribution center. Does anyone know what eVTOL is? Joe, do you know? eVTOL is electric vertical takeoff and landing. It is a big drone, and this product, which many people think of science fiction, many of us grew up on the Jetsons. This is no longer a fantasy. This gives us the chance, Illinois a chance, to continue to build this kind of clean tech incubator around logistics, building upon the unique capacity of our state.
We have a lot of dignitaries who've been working really hard to make this happen, and I'm just curious if or when the point will come where you might try to draw all the Southland community people into the conversation and help them learn what the plans are and maybe get their concerns and questions about how the plans get shaped. Public forums or community forums or anything like that.
First of all, thank you very much for the question. So what you see in this room are people, and they are part of the team of advocacy to get there. And as you talk about rolling this out and having larger town hall meetings, kind of one step at a time. We have to get to a certain point because we don't want to create any false expectations. We want to be able to present something that's solid and that's ready to go, to allow people to ask questions that offer the ability to put meat to what we're doing. So that time will come, and presumably upon signage of the second bill, and then also with the release of the RFQ, that opportunity will come very quickly.
And I would just add, this has been going on so long that we have heard from a number of people. We just have to update. When I look in the room, there's some people that are elected now that weren't elected then, and people that were elected and not elected now. We've been working on this and hearing from people, but we just have to give the update and get input next.
Curious, I know that there have been some concerns about development of industry and handle it and construction of, wetlands, family farms, other environmental concerns besides the airport itself, and how, carbon neutral it's going to be. How are you kind of thinking about addressing that, or kind of what are your thoughts on those concerns about environmental?
Well, as we said during the presentation, we want to make this, the greenest airport ever and carbon neutral, and that can all come in how we write the request for proposal.
And I can assure you that, a project of this magnitude will take into consideration preserving what green spaces can be preserved and being environmentally friendly. This also has to have environmental impact statements as well. So we'll learn and continue to learn about how this will be perceived and ultimately done in community in which it will be built. So we're not moving in a way that doesn't take that into consideration.